Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Liberty Libations number 86. There is your can cracking for the opening. Steven, what are you drinking, man?
Repping the hometown favorite here, the Space Lettuce, Monday Night Brewing. Just won a gold medal this year, and it is National IPA Day.
Yeah.
So,
Worst day of the year. Worst day of the year. Zane, what are you drinking?
I went very Irish tonight. It's equal parts of Bailey's and Jameson.
There we
Nice.
go. That is a delicious drink. Oh, man. It's basically a dessert. Alden, what are you drinking?
Also, a touch of the Irish. Sorry, I didn't have an IPA on hand. And some rabbit eye wine, actually.
There we go. And I've got Lafroig. It's my daily.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. Daily drinker. Not that I drink daily.
That's pretty much an IPA.
No, it's no. Yeah, if you didn't catch that, my name is Jake Green, joined as always by Stephen Hilton, Zane Placie, Alden Hardee, and on the phone is Nick Ciesieslki. Nick,
no,
can you hear it?
Yes, I can hear you. I mean, I'm not just on the phone. I mean, I'm
No,
here. I'm
Nick's
just
on the
camera.
phone. Nick's on the phone right now. He's calling in from some weird sex dungeon that he's a part of.
I'm going through a tunnel.
Yeah. Okay. How quickly can we mute Nick? All right. Y'all, this show is brought to you by Rabbit Eye Wine. I don't know if we have the website pulled up, but go to rabbiteyewine.com to get your bottle. You can also buy it in person in Georgia. It's delicious. Alden's drinking it right now. Alden, or is this the dry or the?
This one's the dry, yeah. So I've had the driest and the sweetest, and I'm excited to try the in between because I think my favorite will land somewhere in the middle, actually.
Oh, really? My favorite. The drier the better for me. So I love the dry.
Normally that's true with like a lot of grape wines, but I think the blueberries they kind of lend themselves to like a touch more sweet. So I'm excited to try like the in between ones.
And kudos to Grumpy. He's going to try Rumble again.
This Rumble thing.
Watching on YouTube. Thank you, Grumpy, for boosting our numbers over on our favorite platform, Rumble. All right. That's enough scrolling. We've seen enough of the sweet, semi-sweet stuff. All right, y'all. It's been, I don't know, somewhat slow news week, I would say. In general, a lot of Olympic shenanigans going on, which we'll get to about halfway through the show. But for now, I'd like to recap Bitcoin conference. So I went to Bitcoin conference. Shane Hazel was there. Brad Binkley went with me. We shot some interviews. Who else was there? Dave Smith was there. RFK gave a speech. Trump gave a speech. I got food poisoning on Friday night, so I didn't get to see anything on Saturday, which sucked. Yeah, I was puking my guts out. For anybody out there who's eating dinner, enjoy.
Did you say Friday?
Yeah, Friday night.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with my cooking.
I don't know. Unless it's delayed poisoning.
2 days delayed.
so
No, I think
the chicken tartare might have been a little too much.
Actually, you know what's funny? I had steak tartare and elk that night, elk rare that night. So it was one of those two things, I think, which was very unfortunate. But either way, look.
It was the arugula.
It was totally the arugula. Bitcoin conference. So I don't know how many of y'all are as obsessed with Bitcoin as I am, but
I don't think it's possible for anybody to be more obsessed than that.
Agreed.
Okay, well, didn't know y'all were lightweights. My bad. Highly recommend if you can get to a Bitcoin conference, go. You learn a ton. You get to mingle with a whole bunch of people who love responsibility, self-custody, self-governance. It's a cool little libertarian package wrapped up in Bitcoin. It's kind of weird how it is because there are some folks there who are not of that persuasion, who don't give a crap about liberty, but still support Bitcoin. I don't know how you do that, honestly, but there are people there like that. But man, the amount of things that I learned while I was there, the amount of people that I talked to, everybody is super happy, super excited to be there. Highly recommend. We already got our tickets for Bitcoin Las Vegas for next year, 27th through the 29th of May. So if y'all want to go, get your tickets. We're going to try to get a booth there. And if we get a booth, y'all are coming out because I believe we have a free place to stay since my sister-in-law lives there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to show a couple clips from a couple speeches. The first one is more demonstrating Trump's hilariousness and just non-actual coherence of what Bitcoin actually is, comprehension of what Bitcoin actually is. And so here's the first clip.
It'll be done. The moment I'm sworn in, the persecution stops and the weaponization ends against your industry. And as long as I'm in the Oval Office, Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, do you remember? Yes, I'm an Indian. She said, I'm an Indian. Why are you an Indian? You don't look like an Indian. No, my mother told me I have high cheekbones. Oh, that's like an Indian. So I named her Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren and her goons, and she's very nasty to you. She hates your people. She hates everything about you. Will keep their hands off Bitcoin. They're going to keep their hands off crypto. They're going to let it grow. We're going to let it grow. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
That got the biggest prize, I think, all of Bitcoin companies. People firing Gary Gensler.
I didn't know he was that unpopular.
Anyway, I mean, seriously, that was the biggest applause I heard the entire weekend.
And he didn't even really know what he was saying. He was just like, I'm going to fire Gary Gensler.
Yeah, he has no idea.
Someone just gave him talking points.
Oh, 100%. And this is what we're going to get to here in a second. But yeah, 100%. Like Trump promised a lot of things, okay, in his speech, including that, firing Gary Gensler, not letting Elizabeth Warren anywhere near it, pledging
learning what Bitcoin is.
Yeah, well, pledging to keep the 200,000 some odd Bitcoin that the U.S. government already has, which the other day got transferred to some account that no one knows, which is weird.
Cool. The CIA's account.
He just made a whole bunch of very surface level, I don't have any depth of knowledge kind of promises.
Yeah.
Well, did you really expect this boomer to have any depth of knowledge about Bitcoin? I mean, seriously, check your expectations.
Okay.
Yeah, these are beanie babies to him.
What?
How about let's go to a different boomer who I actually believe. So here we go.
After all I've learned, I intend, as President of the United States, to sign an executive order on day one, directing the Department of Justice and the U.S. Marshals to transfer the approximately 200,000 Bitcoin held by the U.S. government to the United States Treasury, where it will be held as a strategic asset. On day one as president, I will sign another executive order directing the U.S. Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoin daily until the U.S. has built a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins.
Wait, 4 million? That's like 20% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist.
Yep.
And a position of dominance that no other country will be able to usurp. Our nation holds approximately 19% of global gold reserves. This policy will give us about the same proportion of total Bitcoin. The cascading impact from these actions will eventually move Bitcoin to a valuation of hundreds of trillions of dollars. On day one as president, I will sign also an executive order directing the IRS to issue public guidelines that all transactions between Bitcoin and the US dollar are unreportable transactions.
There we go.
All right. So, look,
There's a lot to unpack there.
what's that?
There's a lot to unpack with that, I think.
So there is a lot to unpack. My thoughts around RFK are this. Look, he stores the majority of his wealth in Bitcoin. He learned about Bitcoin within the last 3 years, got extremely excited about it, clearly did a deep dive, has now spoke at 2 consecutive Bitcoin conferences. And while, yes, he is a politician and it's hard to actually believe any of them, I actually do believe it in this case, because not only would it help the United States, it would help him personally financially become a billionaire. So like if you can look out, if you can trust people to look out for their own interests, then you should absolutely believe exactly what he's saying here, because his best interest at this point is to do exactly what he just said. It just so happens that it's also in the best interest of the country and of anybody who holds Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, 500 Bitcoin a day. I mean, just imagine if you're the one selling that to the government.
But think of the. I'm just trying to think of the economics on this, right? So, like I get the taking what the Department of Justice or whatever has right now, and putting that as a strategic asset, right? I get that. But to then buy 550 Bitcoin a day up to 4, until the U.S. holds 4 million or about 20%, that's the closer you get to that, the higher the price is going to be, and how much is the dollar going to be worth, and how much money are you going to be printing in order to make that happen? Like it's I'm just looking at it thinking it's kind of.
No,
well, it sounds like we'll have to shift our priorities. There's a whole lot of brown kids we can't bomb to make that happen.
Yeah, and
the problem is we're still going to do that. We're just going to print the money and do both.
You're really expecting the government not to bomb brown people? I mean, come on, check your expectations.
Look,
he does the first article of the Constitution.
You got to watch. You got to watch the rest of this speech. Look, I've listened to a bunch of RFK speeches over the last year and a half or so. This was his best one that I've heard. It was like this may have convinced me to be a single issue voter for the presidency. Just watch the whole speech. It's 50 minutes long. There's a lot in there to unpack. And yes, you're right, Nick. Like the more they buy, the higher the price is going to be, and the less the dollar is going to be powerful. So there is going to be a point where they probably can't purchase anymore. But I'm okay with getting to the point where that becomes a problem. That's still much better off than where we are now. And yeah, I see this as nothing but a positive from him, and understanding how Bitcoin actually works and the power of what this currency actually could be. So yeah, I found a lot of promise and hope in this, and not that I think he'll get elected. I think it's a very low probability of that happening, but
about zero.
I'd say it's more than Chase Oliver, but yeah,
they're about zero.
I found his speech to be pretty incredible, as well as the best speech that I watched at Bitcoin conference was Michael Saylor, who's CEO of MicroStrategies, and their whole strategy the past 5 years has been Bitcoin, and their whole company is worth so much money now. It's wild.
Oh, yeah, you think Nvidia jumped up? Holy crap!
Yeah. Oh, they're way above Nvidia.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was for me. This was a big white pill that somebody like RFK could embrace Bitcoin. And just being around at the conference, there are plenty of people that are not Peter Schiff that embrace Bitcoin that are of that generation, which was pretty cool to see. I don't know. You got anything else on RFK's Bitcoin status?
So part of me, yes. So he's not only is he a politician, he's an attorney. And he's a Kennedy. So he's got three strikes already in my book. And the fact that he has a long-term plan to build wealth and growth, I believe that because he's obviously good with his own money, but B, he's going to be leveraging something like Bitcoin to make our government more wealthy and more powerful. And that scares the crap out of me.
True.
I mean, it's sound money moves. In my lifetime, I do want to see it recognized as currency. And obviously at that point, the U.S. Treasury is going to have to start acquiring it. So we can have a stake in the world's hottest asset.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's in its current form of its size and scope. I don't want our government to have more money and more power, and not only that, but have leverage in the crypto world as well.
I mean, they technically already have plenty of leverage in the crypto world.
Well, exactly. Yeah. But it's just to think about that too. I mean, like that's the whole reason why this entire ecosphere was created, was to get away from that. And now you have a guy running to be the chief executive talking about, we're going to leverage it to get stronger. So that part kind of stands out to me just as a libertarian. That's the part where I'm like, ew.
That's fair. The one good thing you will be able to, like, if government starts transacting in Bitcoin or sending Bitcoin around, you get to see where every single dime of it goes.
Yeah. So it would be a live audit. You wouldn't have a Fort Knox situation.
Yep.
So we do get that. We do get transparency. So I like that. I like where you're going there.
Although if it's just an asset and they're just going to monetize the asset, then the Bitcoin's not going to be flowing. They're still going to be pushing dollar on that. Although it's going to, Zane, explain how the economics are going to work, that you're using dollars to buy an asset while printing dollars to buy the asset, but backing that with the asset.
It'll hyperinflate.
Excuse me, is your name Zane?
No.
I don't.
Yeah, well, I want to hear this, right? Because as you're buying it, if you're backing the dollar with it, now you're talking about backing the dollar with an asset that's inflating in value, while inflating the amount of dollars in circulation and theoretically deflating the value of it. Theoretically destroying the value of it. So, how would this end up playing out from an economic perspective?
Yeah, so this is a situation that, third world countries sometimes find themselves in when they borrow dollars, because if you're a lender, you won't lend to like Zimbabwe in Zimbabwe money, because they can just print as much of that as they want to, and you'll get a bunch of worthless pieces of toilet paper back. So in order for Zimbabwe to actually get any money, they have to issue debt that's denominated in US dollars, which means that they can't just print as much of it as they want. And in order to pay it back, what they end up having to do is print a bunch of their own money, like print up billions and billions of Zimbabwe dollars in order to purchase US dollars with those Zimbabwe dollars, which is how you get hyperinflation, because they just have to, as they print more and more Zimbabwe dollars to buy US dollars, then the Zimbabwe dollars get worth less and less, which means in order to buy US dollars, you have to print even more and more of them, to the point where it's literally worth nothing. And no matter how much of it you print, you cannot buy anything with it at all. So it's like this kind of asymptotic relationship where the more you print, the more you have to print in order to maintain purchasing what you have.
So RFK wants to kill the dollar and the fractional reserve banking system.
That's basically how I saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's kind of rugging everyone in the dollar still, though.
But he's doing it in a way where we maintain hegemony. Because that's always been the uncrackable riddle, right? Is like, if the whole world falls apart at the same time, how do we just fall last and not quite as hard, so we stay on top at the bottom?
Right. Exactly right. Yeah, and that's exactly what I said. I answered it in one word, and Zane went on for like 3 minutes.
The people love my economic rambles. That's why they watch the show.
Well, I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, we hired Zane to talk about economics and run trivia.
I think just the latter.
That's literally why I'm here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, like that in and of itself, that doesn't do anything negative to Bitcoin. That only does negative things to the dollar, because Bitcoin, there's still the same number out there. You can't actually inflate Bitcoin. So it would actually just destroy the dollar, not do anything to Bitcoin, which would be great. Let's destroy the dollar. That sounds awesome. Not immediately, everybody. Go trade in your dollars for Bitcoins. There you go. All right. The final bit from Bitcoin conference is Cynthia Loomis. It touches on what
in the Senate of the United States to establish a Bitcoin strategic reserve, a network of secure storage vaults, purchase program, and other programs to ensure the transparent management of Bitcoin holdings of the federal government.
Yeah, so
I almost feel like she's clapping syllables at me the way she's talking, like that cadence.
I sat through one of her talks with some other chick. It was I've never fallen asleep quite so quickly while sitting up in a chair. Like, it was so boring. But yeah, she introduced a bill to Congress to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset. So that was basically it.
Yeah, I like what she was saying. It's just, it sounded like she's organizing a brownie sale at the PTO.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's fair. But yeah, all in all,
we really need a strategic brownie reserve.
I would prefer that over what
that's some really hard money right there.
Look, people would actually like it, like people do a lot more for
do a special brownie reserve
when they're hungry than they will $1 when they're hungry. Okay. All right, y'all. That was it for my Bitcoin stuff. Just wanted to get all that out there. Unless somebody else has something to say, we can move on to the primary topic of the evening. Y'all good?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go talk about the Taliban. All right. So Sean Ryan over on his podcast broke a story that basically says that we continue to fund the Taliban to this day, dollars basically directly to them. I'm going to read the first and last paragraph of this document. The first one says, this report discusses the results of SIGAR's evaluation of the impact of UN shipments of U.S. currency on Afghanistan's economy and the benefit and risks associated with using direct cash assistance in Afghanistan.
Next thing you know, we're going to be sending Bitcoin to the Taliban.
My bad. Since its first shipment in December 2021, the UN has purchased and transported at least $3.8 billion in U.S. currency to fund the humanitarian operations of 19 UN entities, funds, and programs, and 48 international organizations and non-governmental organizations in Afghanistan. We found that the purchase and delivery of U.S. currency to Afghanistan has improved key economic factors, including stabilizing the Afghan economy and the value of Afghanistan's national currency against the U.S. dollar, increasing the money supply and reducing inflation. Doing both of those things simultaneously.
Wait,
wow.
Doing completely opposing things at the same time. This is a great letter from the special inspector.
You'd be able to mask that inflation if you were having a simultaneous increase in production, right?
Oh, it's almost like they planned for this.
It's almost like they went from 15% of the world's opium to 90+% of the world's opium while we were there.
And then on the back page, it says, lastly, we found that the U.S. currency shipments directly and indirectly benefit the Taliban. Specifically, the international donor community has essentially assumed the responsibility as the provider of basic services to the Afghan people, which has allowed the Taliban to take credit for these services despite it lacking the capacity to provide these same services. Additionally, the increase in economic activity due to UN shipments of U.S. currency has also generated tax revenue and other fees collected by the Taliban. Together, this has allowed the Taliban to avoid providing basic services to Afghans and instead reallocate financial resources to Taliban policy priorities, including punishing and policing the population. Finally, because the U.S. currency is difficult to trace and can be used internationally as a means of exchange, the Taliban now have a greater ability to circumvent the controls of the international banking system that are intended to limit the Taliban's ability to conduct money laundering and fund terrorism.
Wow.
I've never heard it. I never thought I would hear a report on the monetary policy of the Taliban, but here we are.
Yeah. So how far away
Does
are
anyone-
somebody like the Taliban getting rich enough to where they can start funding stuff in our colleges about like the strength of the nuclear family and there's only 2 genders?
Well, I mean, first of all, the Soviet Union already fixed that. We're already where we are, like because of that. So that's already happened.
Yeah.
You don't got to worry.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we sent like $1 billion to Pakistan, talking about gender fluidity and it's okay to be gay.
Fair.
How soon before they start throwing our money back at us about like straight is the only way?
I guess we'll find out, because I don't think we're going to stop sending money to Afghanistan.
Does your friend date dudes? Throw them off a rooftop.
Will they send us Toyota Hiluxes?
Okay.
I mean, what the main point of this report is that, ever since August 2021, the Taliban has been the government of Afghanistan. So all that's really happened is we've continued to provide foreign aid to Afghanistan, just like we provide foreign aid to dozens of other countries. Except this time, oops, it's not the government that we installed, it's the Taliban. But we're giving them money anyway, and then we're surprised when they're still the Taliban.
But
We pretty much
we really did
installed
put them
the
in
Taliban.
charge to begin with, too.
Yeah. Sorry, I was saying the same thing as Steven there. Yeah. Whether it's Al Qaeda or the Taliban or even the mafia back in the day here in this country, the government has roots in funding and coordinating, and these entities basically do the dirty work that the government can't do. It's basically unlawful extension of the fucking government.
Yeah, and it's same thing that Israel did with Hamas. They funded Hamas, and now Hamas is out of control, killing everybody. So, we're not the only ones to do this. Although Israel,
and we fund Israel, so did we fund Hamas? There you go.
Exactly.
So
we definitely fund pretty much every conflict on Earth.
It's the circle of life.
It's
or death.
Yeah, I'd say it's circle of death. I like that one.
Way better. Just imagine being in the CIA for 30 years, and then all of a sudden, while you're acting as a Taliban leader, you run into a warring faction of Hamas, which was your old coworker.
Yeah,
hey, we used to share a cubicle back in Virginia, man. What have you been?
Do y'all remember that? Who was it? Was it Chingy that had the "Wild as the Taliban" song?
T.I.
It's T.I.
Rubber Band Man.
Yes, Rubber Band Man.
Wild as the Taliban. 9 in my right, 45 in my other hand.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe he got away with saying that around that time. That's so funny. That's so wild. And I mean, I guess cancel culture didn't really exist back then, so he wouldn't have gotten canceled. But that's a crazy line to have in your song.
Well, and he was blowing the lid off the Republicans, too. I mean, there was a whole mixtape he did with Big Country, Throwback 2004. Where he was talking. So this is like right after he got caught, because he got caught with like houses of pallets of money in Augusta. And they're like, what do you do? How'd you get all this money? He's like, I got all that rapping. And they're like, well, you've only made 15 million rapping so far. And we found 30 million in one house. And then it turns out that he was actually selling like container ships full of automatic weapons. And they're like, where are you getting that stuff? He's like, oh, the Republicans. They sell me cocaine too. I get it by the boatload.
Yeah, none of that surprises me.
Yeah.
I just more things are coming out about this. People are, per usual, calling for people to resign and be tried for treason and all this stuff. We're just funding the people who are murdering, service members and all this kind of stuff. And
it's the American way.
Nothing's going to come from this. We all know that. Nothing's going to come from this. Like I know Sean Ryan in his tweet on that thing is very optimistic, I think.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get some good sound bites. We'll have a congressional hearing that's just window dressing.
Yeah.
We'll have the typical dog and pony show. 'Cause I remember Daryl Issa, he scored huge political capital back in the day when cash for clunkers was going around, and then the Benghazi thing happened. There was a bunch of crap going on in Afghanistan. Darrell Issa was always the guy to like, oh, Darrell Issa's grilling him. I'm like, oh, well, what's going to happen? Nothing. Oh, okay. And it's like, the guy's, he talks a good game. Who's the guy now? Is it like Max Jordan or something like that?
I don't know.
But he's an attorney, so he's really good at grilling people on the stand. But congressional hearing is nothing comes of that. I mean, just keep in mind, like they had Roger Clemens in there asking him about his steroid use. So what really happens in a congressional hearing?
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
I've never seen anything significant come out of a congressional hearing.
Nothing at all. No one goes to jail.
Didn't Fauci have to go to a congressional hearing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. And nothing.
But what happened with that? Like, say,
Steve
yeah.
Bannon had to go to jail for
What's
contempt
that?
of Congress.
Who did?
Steve Bannon for contempt of Congress for not going to a hearing.
Oh yeah. So outsider Republican had to go to jail.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, they'll
But
hold you
that's
in
for not
contempt
going.
unless you're Sergey Brin. Sergey Brin can tell you to F off.
There's more news in you not going to a congressional hearing than when you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If you don't go, you go to jail. If
Right.
You
If you go, you're
God,
fine.
Perfect. This is a great system. they
Good
have.
system, yeah.
Yeah. So good that our leaders, the people who are supposedly elected, get to just skate by and not have any consequences for any of their actions.
Absolutely. It's like Young Thug just on a national scale.
Perfect.
Just replace that with any other scenario of like, hey, Mr. Taliban leader, we're going to bring you in front of a congressional hearing. Where'd you get all the money from? That guy, that lady, that guy over there. Then nothing happens.
Nothing ever happens.
And then the real whistleblowers die, and then the government plant whistleblowers, they make a stink in Congress or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And,
Well, I remember it was a couple of years before we got El Chapo. It was like 2007, 2008, something like that.
Mhm.
We got his number 2 in charge, and it was the local Fox News. It was some town in Arizona that scooped him up, and the local Fox News ran a story because they were able to ask him, before he was actually booked in, who are you working for? How are you getting all this help? Because there's no way you got this big in our country without help. And he's like, so who's helping you? And he's like, your government. Just with a smile on his face. I work for your government. I'm not going to jail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. There's so many movies written exactly that way. So many movies, so many shows. Like, people think that's all just fiction. No. That's like anything that you can picture in a somewhat realistic show can happen in real life. Like House of Cards was nearly a documentary. Let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
Also a documentary. Like,
I think Veep is maybe the most accurate of them, honestly.
it's astonishing
insane.
how close Julia Louis-Dreyfus is to Kamala Harris in real life.
Oh God.
If you
I haven't
put
seen
their
it in years,
characters
but
side by side. Okay. Y'all keep talking about this for a second. I'm gonna find a clip.
okay. I can also say that there is a safe level that it mirrors or parallels where it seems like comedy or it seems like a movie or a joke or whatever. Well, it is a movie, but the CAA is steering these and is involved in the writing process and in thousands, openly. So this is not like a theory or whatever. If you look, it is a known thing. They have a whole department for, what is it? The liaison to Hollywood department in the CAA. Why the fuck is that a thing?
Yeah, so
Unless
I know that everybody always says that about the military films. Are you saying that it's just any political show at all?
It's not just.
thing?
It's at least those, but it's openly thousands of movies and shows. Yeah, which there's not even that many military movies or whatever. But yeah,
All right.
Jim
it's
Jordan I
shaping
was thinking about earlier.
culture.
I've got it.
What is it? What did you say?
I said Jim Jordan is the congressman I was thinking about
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
Yeah, he's been the stud on the Republican side for the last 5 years, scoring all the soundbite points, but not actually affecting anything.
Hopefully, we don't get something for this because of that little Daily Show thing. But here we go.
My fellow Americans, words have many meanings, and sometimes instead of conveying our meaning, they can suggest other meanings.
When we talk about the children of the community, They are children of the community.
Well, we are the United States of America because we are united. And we are states.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Whatever we have in store cannot be known. The past was once the future. The future is, I should say, unknown.
We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Obesity is a serious disease, and it needs to be taken seriously.
You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
I hope that clarifies the issue, and this can be the last word on those words.
Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly, we're not.
No, that's right. And that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
Oh my God.
We live in troubled times.
I laugh so I don't cry.
The Whitest Kids You Know did a bit about like a politician running for office. And he's like, I'm an egomaniac, but I smile well for the camera.
Selena plus Kamala equals salami. I like that.
Fun fact, in Finnish, Kamala means horrible.
Which is just so perfect. God, I wish she was from Finland. I mean, she technically could be. It's very unclear where her origins actually are.
Right.
I want to see the long form.
Yeah, give me the long form birth certificate.
Throw
Who do you think's more Native American, Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
I don't know. Kamala Harris is the other kind of Indian, right?
Oh, my bad. I thought she just said Indian.
Yeah, she's the other type, but I'm wondering, being that there's Jamaican ancestry, I'm wondering how much Native American may have crept in there, and is it more than 1,024?
I'm more interested in who's more African American.
Elizabeth Warren, absolutely.
I don't know if there's proof against that. Yeah, the whole thing's ridiculous. Let's see. All right, y'all. I think it's time for woohoo! Switch with Zane there. Get the Taliban off. Yeah. Fat Rat Unity. We have it turned up 2 decibels now. Or 2 ticks.
There I am.
Hey, there he is.
Hello.
Oh, he's back.
I'm getting in on this.
Okay, if you say so. Let me go ahead and pull up the scoreboard on my end because I know nobody else can be trusted with it.
Yeah, I heard we have individual score counters now.
What?
On the screen.
No, we don't. They were requested, but
I thought we had those.
No,
Jake
the
to
graphics
make it happen.
had that request.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was the entire program of StreamYard denied that request. Which
is that a real story?
Yeah, no, they don't have the capability to allow me to do that.
I thought I was gonna come back from vacation and just be bathed in all these new features, but I guess not.
I would have to make one overlay for every single possible variation of the scoreboard.
Yeah, why don't you just do that? That doesn't sound hard.
I mean, what is that? It's not 4 factorial, is it? No.
Don't bother yourself with this calculation. You'll never do it right. I'll tell you after the show.
It's probably 4 times 4 times 4 times 4.
No, it isn't.
I think you're using like the wrong method for that. Visual Basic is a very basic programming language. Does some very powerful things.
Thanks, Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Visual Basic is very basic.
And it gives you a visual representation.
All right, everyone. Well, welcome to Libations Trivia.
There we go.
I'm your host, back from vacation, so you'll not be getting any degenerate categories like Impala versus Impala. You'll be getting real trivia categories.
Like Stingray versus Stingray.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dude, there's so many
Kamala versus Impala.
Kamala versus Impala. I like that.
Where was Zane on vacation? Because I'm guessing that's going to be part of the topic.
So
he's on a cruise.
That would be correct.
Where,
This is perhaps the tackiest trivia in the history of trivia because all of the questions are based around my vacation photos. And we all know how much people enjoy looking at other people's vacation photos.
European history. Why's it got to be white?
So I was on a European cruise the past 2 weeks. That's where I was. A happy grand old time.
Was it a real cruise or was it a river cruise?
No, it was a really. First of all, I can't. There's no way that I could afford to go on one of those river cruises. They're like 3 or 4 times as expensive as the ocean cruises.
Are they really?
Why? Because the clientele of the river cruises are like exclusively people over 50.
You don't want to be with those people anyway.
No. So round 1, 8 questions, 1 point each. We've got European history. Round 2, 2 points each. Food and drink. Round 3, 3 points each. Potpourri.
Potpourri. It sounds like a word that would come up on SNL Jeopardy.
Well, it routinely comes up on regular Jeopardy, so it probably is on SNL Jeopardy some of the time. It just means I was too lazy to come up with another actual category, so I put a bunch of random questions together and called it potpourri.
Perfect.
Is it like miscellaneous, or is it the stuff that smells good?
No, it's miscellaneous.
Oh, okay.
Why not just say it then? That then.
And ever since we had Mark Twain Gate, I'm going to be reading the entire question before I call on anybody.
Don't be hating.
I thought the rules are when the hand goes up, the question stops getting asked.
Well, but then I might not get to read the question at all.
Yeah, we don't care.
This sounds more about Zane's pride.
All right, fine. I don't have any questions that I think would be susceptible to that today, so we can still have it be like that.
This seems arbitrary now.
Look, I'm just so responsive to the people. I'm a very democratic ruler of trivia here.
You don't even believe in democracy, Zane.
Good point.
Yeah, it is the god that failed.
All right, round 1, European history. Question 1. This is Durham Cathedral in England. In which century did construction on it begin? Jake.
14th century.
No. Stephen.
11th.
The 11th century.
Dang.
The Normans invaded in 1066, and by the 1090s, they had already started building that. So they really weren't messing around.
But did they get it done by the 14th?
They kind of... there were various parts of it. So, like, if I remember this correctly... the towers over to the right were finished in like the 12th and 13th century, and then it took them until the 14th, 15th century to actually like finish the middle and all the rest of the bits.
Are there any mummies buried here?
No mummies. There are the tombs of the Venerable Bede, if you know who that is.
I do not.
An English saint. He's in there. Question 2. The emerald and pearl ruby necklaces pictured here, on display in Copenhagen's Rosenborg Castle, are among the pieces in what collection of the Danish monarchy? Nick.
Is this just crown jewels?
Oh.
Hey, crown jewels.
Nice. Good job.
I thought there was like a specific name.
That's what I was wondering too, but I decided to go generic, and I guess I was right.
It's a good way to ask a question and also submit an answer at the same time.
True Jeopardy form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 3. Name the subject of either of these statues in Gothenburg, Sweden. The left depicts the Swedish king who founded Gothenburg, while the right depicts a Greek god who has come to symbolize the city. Alden.
Neptune?
No.
I saw a
It's
fish.
A Greek god.
What was the first part of the question? Sorry.
Name the subject of either of these statues in Gothenburg, Sweden. Nick.
Beowulf.
No, that's English. Steven.
Danish, maybe.
Is that Hermes?
No.
Ah.
Gotta.
Jake, got anything?
No.
Nick.
King Dirk.
Okay, so Alden was on the right track. He just said a Roman god instead of a Greek one. Alden.
Poseidon.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
The king was Gustavus Adolphus.
Ah.
I couldn't. He was too tiny on my screen. I couldn't even see that one. I was going off of half.
Is
The
anyone...
audience got it right after us.
Nice.
Question 4. What am I standing in front of? Steven.
Arc de Triomphe?
No, wrong city. Jake, with your hand up.
No, I brought it back.
Alden.
Oh, the gates of hell.
No.
No with a question mark. No, was it? No.
No.
What city was this?
Zach says other
Hell.
people. This looks like Berlin. I think it's Berlin.
This is really good podcasting here, guys. All
Van-
right,
Yeah.
audience gets it close enough. The Brandenburg Gate.
We'll give it to him.
That's not even a gate. It's columns.
I said gate.
It identifies as a gate.
How did you take a cruise to Berlin?
Well, we took a cruise to another city in Germany and then took a train for a few hours and got to Berlin.
Because you can't go on the rivers.
No, you can't. You can't sail a ship over land. I don't know if you knew that.
I'm still trying.
Question 5. The ship pictured here, called the Freyam, was used by what Norwegian explorer on his way to become the first person to reach the South Pole? Alden.
Jack Sparrow.
No. Steven.
Leif Erikson?
No. Jake.
Yeah, that was gonna be my guess, but then you said
Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
I don't
Nick.
know.
Is it Shackleton?
No. And there, I still have half of the question left, so I would recommend you.
Oh. Well, why are you...
A previous Libations trivia question noted that he is one of the namesakes of the research station currently located at the South Pole.
Oh, no. Good Lord.
Attenborough.
Piri Reese.
No.
Piri Reese. Come on, Steven. I have no friggin' clue.
I don't remember.
That would have been Alden or Steven pointing that out, I bet.
All right, we give up, I guess.
No, I got that one wrong. I had said...
All right. Is there anything from
Admiral,
the audience?
Admiral Byrd or whatever that one.
Nothing from the audience besides Jackie Chan.
All right. This is Roald
Oh,
Amundsen.
man.
And I'm going to keep asking about this guy until somebody gets it right. Because this is now twice that nobody's known about this guy.
The audience just about got it. They
He
got
doesn't seem to have been doing anything important.
something like.
I say give it to the audience.
I'm giving it
honestly.
to the audience.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Pretty close.
Yep.
Closer than Jack Sparrow, anyway. I will concede. I'll concede.
Okay.
Question 6. What word has been redacted from this plaque?
This is so weird.
In the world.
Nick.
Omaha?
You got it.
Nicely done.
What? What in the
This is
paper?
This is a diagram of the 5
Normandy,
landing beaches at
yeah.
D-Day.
Yeah.
Ah.
Good job. Mitch, we know there's a delay, man. We know that. Y'all,
That's just
y'all
something you
complain
have
about
to
this
deal
all the
with.
time. Y'all get the internet and the delay.
Not that we
get
think
no
that you
internet
are.
and no delay. So, yeah, that's just something y'all got to live with. I don't want to hear one more word about the freaking delay from anybody.
Delay.
Shut your mouth. Next.
Shenanigans.
Question 7. Ciesieslki Palace, located just outside of Berlin, hosted what meeting of Allied leaders after Germany's defeat in World War II? Alden, was that your hand up?
No, my notepad glitched. The Allied powers. Delay.
Just saying.
Alden.
The Bilderberg Group.
No.
I'm trying to just transform this into conspiracy trivia.
I have no freaking clue.
Steven.
League of Nations?
No. Wrong World War. Alden.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No.
Damn it. You hesitated. I thought I got it.
Yeah, I thought he got it. Paris
Steven.
Accords.
No, it's not Paris Accords.
NATO?
He said it was
No.
in Germany, not Paris.
Berlin
So
Accords.
it's named after the German city in which it took place. Nick.
You said it was Berlin, right? The Berlin Conference.
Well, I said it was just outside of Berlin.
It's all the same thing.
No, Alden.
Nuremberg trials.
Okay, nobody's getting this. It's the Potsdam Conference.
Oh.
Well, Potsdam.
Well,
Now
I was
that
gonna
one.
Steven, you and I are the same like dad joke wavelength today. I was just going to say the same shit. Ridiculous.
Yeah, no one's getting that one.
No.
All right, question 8. Thor Heyerdahl, another Norwegian explorer, used this raft to travel from South America to Polynesia in 1947. What is its name?
What?
Steven.
A trireme?
No.
Wait, the name of the style of raft or the specifically
The
like
name of
I
the
named
raft.
The raft.
Oh, the
Okay.
name of the raft. Okay.
Yeah.
Steven, did you
Nick.
get that from Civilization?
Age of Empires.
Age of Empire. Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna go with Beowulf again.
No. I mean, all of you guys are fans of what I might call conspiratorial archaeology, so I was hoping you guys might know this.
Of what archaeology?
Conspiratorial
Archaeology, because
Oh.
essentially, the audience gets it. It's the
Nice.
Kon-Tiki.
Wow.
But essentially,
Remember
what
now.
this guy was trying to do was, because the generally accepted theory of how people got to Polynesia is that they came from Asia and sailed to Polynesia. But what this guy was saying was, no, actually, it was South Americans that sailed west to get to Polynesia, and he tried to demonstrate that was theoretically possible.
But
by
this is
building his
like
raft and
level
then sailing.
1 conspiracy. Level like 4 conspiracy is that there was civilization so long ago that the sea levels were so different that they didn't even have to sail. You know what I mean? Like that's where we're
Right.
at.
Yeah. They just hopped in their interdimensional spacecraft.
Yeah, they stargated there
Pyramids
from
is
Orion.
right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's level 6 conspiracy. Yeah.
All right, that's the end of round 1. What are
That
the
was hard.
scores?
One of these days, Zane's gonna learn how dumb we are, and he's gonna be like, "What color is this? It's blue." We'll
Yeah,
probably
I
get
was-
those wrong.
When he said history, I was hoping it'd be a little bit more like things that we would actually know. Not like
I've given up hope a long time ago for that, Nick.
European history. We won that war. Screw them.
Food and drink.
Jake,
I
you
do
got the
eat, so-
scores.
Oh yeah, my bad. Scores. After one round, Nick has 2, audience has 2, Alden and Steven have 1, and Jake, that loser, has 0.
I got
I'm
one.
not losing to the audience yet.
I don't even remember getting one.
You got one.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't even remember that.
Schnitzel.
Question 1. Pictured here are delicious able skeevers and a Alden.
I was gonna say beignets. It's not even the right food. I'm out for this round.
Pictured here are delicious able skeevers and a pan for making them. They are a traditional snack of what country? Steven.
Sweden.
No. Nick.
Finland.
No.
Oh, Finland.
Wait, Jake hasn't gone yet.
Repeat the question.
Okay, so the thing that you're looking at right now, what country eats them?
Whenever Jake goes, I've got to guess.
Denmark.
Dang it. That was my guess. Damn it. He got it too?
The audience got it at the same time.
I was just the name sounded like something that would be from there. But...
I actually have an able skeever pan, and I've tried making them a few times, but they haven't turned out so well.
You didn't make them with love.
I would think you're white enough to do it, but
all right, question 2. This monument in Newcastle is dedicated to what mid-19th century British Prime Minister? A beverage named after him is flavored with oil of bergamot.
What? Repeat the question again.
Okay, this monument in Newcastle in England is dedicated to what mid-19th century British Prime Minister? Alden.
Bergamot.
No. A beverage named after him is flavored with the oil of bergamot. Nick.
The only thing I can think of is Disraeli.
Audience gets it. It's
Earl Grey.
Earl
Nice.
Grey.
Oh.
Wow. Good job, audience.
Yeah.
It's not
It's a really
just
good
a tea. It's actually one of my favorite teas.
Yeah. Lady Grey's pretty good too. It's got that little hint of vanilla.
You say Lady Grey?
Lady Grey, yeah. It's like Earl Grey with vanilla.
Okay, I'm going to switch to that.
Yeah.
Question 3. What am I eating?
Oh.
Alden.
A Scotch egg?
Yep.
I know that one.
What the hell's a Scotch egg?
It's that. He just showed you.
It's like a boiled egg
With-
surrounded by like ham and bread.
That's
Sausage.
my second grade teacher's husband is named Earl Grey.
Oh, wow.
This is why Scotland can't be independent. It's stuff like this.
They had a chance to vote for it, and they voted no. God damn it.
Question 4. What classic Dutch treat, a cross between a waffle and... I think that was Stephen first.
Damn it.
Yeah, Stoopwaffle.
Damn it.
Yep.
Gummit, I knew that one.
I did too.
I used
Mother
to
of
have those
fuck.
every morning with my coffee. They're so good.
Oh yeah.
They're good camping, yeah.
They're good camping too. Sure, that's the only time they're good.
That's
Yeah.
the only. They taste best camping, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You get a little dirt on them, some sweat.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. Make sure there's
All
ants.
crushed up in your backpack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crumbs.
Yeah.
That's
You
great.
go to they're broken, so you go to dip it in your coffee, and the whole thing falls in and turns to
Yeah.
mud. It's
That's
great.
the
Yeah.
best. That's
Yes.
Remind me never to eat at your restaurant. Question 5.
American poetry.
These pie charts show the composition of 3 types of what food?
Are we supposed to be able to read the stuff?
No, you're not supposed to read anything. What
Bread.
was that, Jake?
Bread.
No, not bread. Steven?
Pudding.
No. Nick?
Pies.
No. Alden?
Oh my god. Fucking cannolis. I don't know.
No.
It's not cannolis. Yeah, we know.
Moose.
No, it's not cheesecake or mousse.
It's not moose. It's elk.
So
Croissant.
the interesting thing about these pie charts is that they're... Oops. Oh, no.
They're chocolate.
That was a big time goof.
Oh,
But
man.
They're actually.
I think
like,
the audience
making
had
the-
it first. To be honest.
Actually,
the
the
audience
audience,
have
the
it?
audience did get it first.
Oh, right. Yeah, let him have it.
But this was, I took this photo in the Chocolate Museum in Belgium. But the interesting thing is the different parts of the pie chart are actually made out of the ingredient.
Right.
So like the brown is actual like cocoa mass, and then the white granular is sugar, and then
No, we gathered that.
powder and
So from top to bottom, you have dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and white chocolate, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Why
White
go
chocolate
all
is
the way
almost
to
not even chocolate.
Right.
Why go
That's
to
why I don't like
Europe to learn about chocolate when you could just go to Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Hershey's
I've already
is
been to
garbage.
Hershey, Pennsylvania, multiple times.
That's wax. You're eating a candle. That's not
Yeah,
chocolate.
you go to Chocolate World.
All right, question 6. Here I am in Belgium with what type of beer? A strong pale ale, Nick.
A Belgian wit.
No. A strong pale ale associated with Belgium and the other Low Countries.
Are you looking for a brand or a style?
No, a style. Jake.
Hefeweizen.
No.
It's German.
Shut your mouth, Alden.
Yeah, it's
Steven.
Bavarian.
A triple.
Yeah, there you go.
The color. Color gave it away.
Whatever.
All right, what are the scores? End of round 2.
Scores: our audience has 7. Steven has 5. Alden has 3. Nick has 2. Jake has 1.
This is a tough round of Zane.
How'd you go from 0 to 1 in a round where all the questions were worth 2?
Because the audience got half and I got half.
Okay.
Jake is just
I'll
making
allow
up the
it.
scores this week.
We answered at the same time. We both said Denmark.
Yep.
I'm
All
being
right.
formal.
Round 3. Potpourri.
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 Question 1. Behind me here are the ruins of St. Andrew's Cathedral in Scotland. The town is much more well known for what type of facility, Jake.
Golf course.
Oh, you know me so well.
Nice.
Are these worth 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got golf course from the word facility, but that's interesting.
That's the only other thing that place is known for.
Yeah, that's
It's
yeah,
latrines.
Question 2. Several pubs are next to the old course in St. Andrews, and I stopped by one to watch the Open Championship that was being held at the nearby Royal Troon. What golfer, who is currently defending his gold medal in Paris, won that tournament? Alden.
Mr. Nichols.
No. Steven.
Jordan Spieth.
No.
I threw away my guess just for a very long throwback here.
Zach says Arnold Palmer.
That's awesome.
Nick.
Rory McIlroy.
No, he hasn't won any majors in a while.
Yeah, I know.
Loser.
I know nothing about golf,
Yeah, no.
so I'm out of guesses.
I'll go one more.
Alden.
Mickelson or whatever his name is.
You got an actual golfer, but no.
Damn. I'm improving. Do I get a gold star for most improved?
He tried to get Jack Nicklaus before. That was who he was trying to say.
Steven.
Bubba Watson.
No, all right. Nobody is
Okay.
getting this. This is Xander Schauffele.
That's what I said.
In the same way Kamala means horrible.
I
That's
just didn't know how
exactly
to
what I
pronounce
meant.
it, so I said Mr. Nichols.
Yeah.
Because that's how I thought that was pronounced. I'm
Question
uncultured.
3.
How many questions are there? 4?
4. So there are 2 more left.
So I can still win. This is great, y'all.
Here's how Jake can still win.
The playoffs play out here.
What is this man doing? Steven.
Making shoes.
You gotta be more specific than that.
Making clogs.
There you go.
Cobbling clogs.
I was going to say cobbling. Dad gummit. That gummit
Cloggling.
Zane.
Oh, cobble you.
I feel like I have an extreme disadvantage when we go to a visual base because I have to be like zoom in this far to see any fucking thing.
That seems like a limitation on your end.
We all know Zane is an ableist. So,
Oh yeah, proudly.
we just got to roll with it. Pun intended.
All right, last question, and it's actually the only question of the series that doesn't have a photo accompanying it.
That
But
got
it
me
wasn't-
late. Sorry.
But it does have to do with the drink that I had this evening. What is the maximum amount of liquor that a person is legally allowed to bring into the United States duty free? I used my entire Steven.
A liter.
Oh, you didn't even let me finish the question. Nice.
I've had so many bottles of rum that were poured into a Head and Shoulders bottle.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
The rum ham.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I got this for free, but it's a little shampoo-y.
Do you know the trick that I used to do was you put liquor in a wine bottle, because that's not liquor, so that's not the same thing, and you cork it and you use a hairdryer and you bring those little foil heat shrink caps on them.
Genius.
Yeah, and then it doesn't taste like Head and Shoulders.
There you go.
Smart. Well, in case anybody's just listening, Mr. Stephen Hilton won tonight's trivia. Thank you, Zane, for hosting. The questions are far more interesting when you host.
And I feel far more dumber.
I definitely feel dumber when Zane hosts. All right, what's our next topic? Let's not go to that next story. Let's go to the one after that, Zach. Let's go to the 9/11 stuff. All right, go ahead and click play on this.
To some of the 9/11 families who wanted to see the full trial, who wanted to see this kind of come to a fuller process.
So look, this is basically what Jake said. This is something that we had no involvement in. He didn't have any involvement in, and so the White House played no role in this process. And the president directed his team to consult as appropriate with officials and lawyers and Department of Defense, obviously. We have said this before. We are. Our hearts go out to the families who lost their loved ones on that day. And the president of 9/11 has honored them every year, and the families who lost their loved one on that terrible day.
Does he have a message to some of the 9/11 families?
What's the news? What's going on?
So Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and I think 2 other defendants who've been held in Guantanamo since. I don't know, but the prosecution's been ongoing since 2008, from what I understand. They finally struck a plea deal for life in prison versus a trial and pursuing the death penalty, which is what has been what they were trying to push for, is to go after the death penalty on that. But yeah, I don't know. After 20-something years, it seems like, and not even having a conviction, it seems like just getting
20 years in Guantanamo.
I think after 20 years in Guantanamo, I might just want to die.
Yeah, honestly, Jesus Christ.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Isn't that the woman that got caught tweeting for Biden, as Biden, but forgot to switch her accounts or whatever? Mm-hmm. And so she was pretending to be like him anyway.
Yeah, Cringe
or
whatever.
God, I miss Sarah Huckabee.
Huckabee? What?
Yeah, she was one of the best reporters we've ever had.
I think you missed Kayleigh McEnany.
McEnany is the best of all. She is by far my favorite press secretary we've ever had. She's amazing. Who's Callie?
I think he was going with what I said, but he didn't know how to spell.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, that checks out. He's our producer. So yeah, I don't know. Alden, as the resident 9/11 nut, how did you not hear about this?
I saw I didn't know what she was talking about, but I saw the thing that Nick was explaining, and to me it was a whole lot of not news.
Whole lot of not news.
Yeah.
It is kind of not news, but I guess people were upset that there won't be a trial, although what's really going to come out in the trial that hasn't already come out.
There wasn't a trial for Bin Laden. We threw him in the ocean or some fucking shit. Like anytime there's a critical thing like this, we don't do trials. So I don't know. I'm not surprised by that.
I don't get how we how's he still alive? Like, how have we not waterboarded him with bacon grease until he just expires? I don't get it.
Maybe they did for 20 years, and that's why he's made up some shit or whatever to get a plea fucking deal. Like, how is this trustworthy? Even if it, I don't know, man.
Yeah, in no way, shape, or form is it trustworthy. Like, that's crazy. And yeah, I mean, Grumpy's right. Malice for press secretary, 100%.
Well, and then, I mean, in the wake of the Patriot Act, why do we have to have a trial, right? Like,
in the spirit of the Patriot Act, yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
You're a ghost.
Well, in that vein, I don't know then if these are going to be. I want to know what Alden thought about this next video. Zach, you can go ahead and put it up there. So Luke Rudkowski, you don't have to play the whole thing. Play it in smaller because it's 6 minutes long. I want to see the tweet as well, Zach. So just to escape, minimize that sucker. Yeah. Luke Rudkowski tweeted that this is new footage of the Twin Towers just dropped after 23 years.
Who had this footage?
Bad choice of words. Holy crap.
Just dropped.
Too soon, dude.
So this thing's 6 minutes long, and he is specifically looking at the second tower for most of it.
Which one is that?
What? I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, which way is north here? I don't even. What?
That's a great question. It's a great question.
Yeah.
I assumed it was the one on the left, but I could be wrong about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Again, this is so small on my screen.
So you see obvious detonations before the collapse. How is that new?
I don't know what he's going for here.
Let's see what it shows on the second tower. Now that we've got one tower collapsed.
And where is
it? Looks like this footage is being shot through like one of those binoculars.
The viewfinders on the yeah, it does. What are we looking for? Because this is about the size of my thumb on my screen. So
it's a great question. I don't know what we're looking for.
Okay.
I couldn't find it. I wanted to know if I wanted to know if you had seen this or if somebody else had knew.
I have not.
That's why he's asking if we see what he sees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach says.
Oh, it's Bigfoot. I saw it. Yeah, Bigfoot in the smoke.
Yeah. So I don't know what he sees. I didn't see anything that I hadn't already seen before. I've also feel like I've seen not this shot with the circle around it, but I don't know what. I've definitely seen it from this angle before.
I think they like to get around the censorship stuff. I think they have to put some kind of border on it to. They altered the video.
I've done that before.
Okay.
Yeah,
a vignette of sorts here.
Go back. Let's see if there's something.
Yeah. Enthralling to all of our listeners.
Yeah, yeah, we're just watching.
Okay, there should be viewers and not.
Yeah, if you're just listening, and that's what you want to do, that's great. But watching is so much more fun. You get to see that same smiley face, crack up at weird things at random.
The next time, if you want my input on a visual, you should send it to me before, because that is so small on my screen. I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be honest.
Fair enough.
But
we don't have to hang on to this.
I didn't see anything particularly. Oh, well, that one showed the image above that. Showed
the one above it, Zach.
Yeah, see that one shows there's a series of, as it goes down, windows blowing out and debris and smoke jettisoning out out the sides, as if there's pressure inside, very much
series of detonations
below below the quote unquote pancaking point where there should be no pressure or whatever. So
you would be if it's falling down at that point, you're gonna have air pressure coming down. So it's not that
to blow out one window, just one with smoke, and not whatever. Never mind. We don't have.
I'm not saying that that's what it is. But I'm saying, you don't know what a weak point is and what's going to fail and what's not. In the insanity of it, maybe that window cracked, and in that process, hey, I'm just throwing out.
engineer.
No,
Is what you mean, Alden?
Yeah.
Nick's saying exactly what I usually have to say, except Nick's actually an engineer, so he's saying it much better than me.
I'm not saying that it's wrong. That the controlled demolition argument is wrong. I'm just saying, like, we have to at least consider.
All right.
Consider
if you're an engineer,
explanations.
How would an engineer explain it coming down if it's supposed to be the pancaking theory? I have a two-part question. And then whatever. The pancaking theory would be...
Oh, you're an engineer? Explain every detail of 9/11.
I'm also not a structural engineer, so...
okay.
I'm
You're a software engineer. Oh, right. Gotcha.
I'm a mechanical engineer.
So if the floors
water
are
distribution
pancaking and if they're hitting each other and the resistance of the floor below the floor above it breaks and then it falls and then so on and so forth, how does it come down at basically free fall speed, which would be to say without resistance? And then why is in NIST's model that came out like 7 years later, when they demonstrate the pancaking theory, when the government was basically like, make this work, why is the core structure in the fucking 3D model that they made to explain this still standing? Because the floors have nothing to do with the core elevator structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there is no engineering answer for that.
Hey, there's weird
Checkmate
stuff with it. I'm saying on the window blowing out, there's explanations, right? On the pancaking, yeah. I mean, the core's there. That's the other part, right? So if the core's coming down, that means the core's packed with explosives.
Yeah.
Not by the windows. So for the windows to be blowing out from an explosive would be fairly odd if the core is what's packed with it.
What about the molten iron specifically that's pouring out of the windows long before the fall of the towers? Well,
some people didn't they molt iron?
Video of molten iron.
Wasn't that normal? Like, wasn't that part of the industry? There was molting iron. They just molted it all day long, every day.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they did in those.
That molting is the right word.
Not my department. You got to go up to smelting on floor 99.
Yeah.
I don't have explanations.
The entire tower just sheds off its outer layer.
It's like a reptilian building. Oh.
Hey, I don't have explanations for everything, and I'm not saying the controlled demolition thing's wrong. I'm saying in this very specific instance, the window blowing out may not be an indication of explosives.
Yeah.
Is the only point I'm making here.
There we go. It could be an autistic gambler moving more than his body weight and weaponry up the floor.
Exactly.
And shooting
the vantage point of a concert down below.
More rounds in the time that it could even feasibly be done and reloaded. Right.
I feel like we're getting multiple theories confused now.
Oh yeah.
Things are blending. All right.
Yeah, this is the conspiracy mixtape.
All right. Well, since Alden hadn't checked out that video beforehand because I didn't send it to him, it's really his fault. We're gonna move on to the Olympics.
Ironic.
Oh no.
All right. The circus of the Olympics. Let's put up what has to be my favorite athlete at the Olympics.
Yes.
Silver medalist Georgia Villa is sponsored by Parmesan cheese and regularly posts pics of herself with giant wheels of cheese.
That's pretty hot, actually.
Love this girl.
I love the one where she's doing a split and she's on top of 4 wheels of cheese.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
It's not a certain brand of Parmesan, just like Parmesan.
Parmesan Reggiano.
Yeah.
So real Parmesan then. Okay.
Yeah.
The only actually. Okay, gotcha.
Which
from the town of Parmesan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which weighs more, her or that wheel of cheese?
Oof. It's got to be her.
Me after I eat both.
Ew.
Terrible joke.
But yeah, like all these people, there have been really interesting things with sponsorships around these Olympics. There's a brand of clothing that literally has no labels anywhere on it, and they call it unbranded, I think. And the point of it is so that when you see an athlete in the prelims dressed in all black and like they do well, all the big sponsors know that that person is sponsored by a small sponsor.
So it's like the billboard that's blank and it says like, space for rent, or like your ad here. Like they should put your ad here on their ass. Like,
yeah,
gotcha.
That's pretty much it. But they still give, they still sponsor these athletes for a much smaller amount of money than what they would get from a giant sponsor. It's a really interesting thing. But yeah, this chick, rather than being sponsored by like big pharma, she's sponsored by friggin' Parmesan cheese. How awesome!
The real deal Parmesan. I'm into this.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with two good news stories, or two awesome stories. Let's show the next one, Zach, because this guy took the internet by storm today. Go ahead.
I love this guy.
So
Turkey is taking over the internet for showing up to the Olympic pistol competition with no ear protection, special lenses, or anything. Every competitor
And
wears
his hand
some
in his
form of
pocket.
eyewear, special lens, but Yusuf Dikic of Turkey showed up with nothing more than some Warby Parker glasses, hand in pocket, both eyes open. Yusuf Dikic of Turkey is taking over the internet for showing up to the Olympic pistol.
All right, you can pause it.
This dude.
This dude
It's
is
awesome.
amazing. You just put up the picture of him.
Didn't he
I
get
think-
silver?
I think it's the next tweet.
Yes,
This
he
guy got the silver medal.
Yeah, second best on earth. That's awesome.
Which, I mean, let's be real, y'all. Like, all of those extra things, you're not actually testing how well of a shooter you are. Like, I need some high pressure scenarios. I need guys running at this guy. I need fire going in his direction. Like, all the competitors need to be fired at to prove how good of a shot they actually are. Like, what is this guy on the left? He looks like someone from
What
an
is he
Austin Powers
got
movie.
Google Glass on or something, man? Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't even be allowed to wear Google Glass.
Yeah, they've got special glasses,
Yeah.
I guess, or it's one blocking and it looks like the other one might be magnified or something, and then you've just got
a guy with a pistol with a hand in his pocket.
What guns are they shooting?
They've got to be 22s, right?
It's air
I think
pistols,
that's
I think. Oh, there we go.
Uh,
There's the Saiyan reference. I was looking for that one.
Wait, it's just air pistols?
no, I think that's a real pistol.
It's got to be a real pistol.
Why do you need ear protection for air pistols?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, for a 22, you wouldn't need air protection.
The little short, stupid Derringer that I shot 22 Magnum, I fucking wish I had ear protection. That was so dumb. That was the fucking worst gun I've ever shot in my life. I fucking hate Derringers.
Well, yeah, this guy, like, honestly, I think this is why I don't watch the Olympics. The rules on these sports are so freaking stupid. You can come in with magnifying glasses on your faces in order to shoot at a target
Yeah.
hundreds of yards,
Or you can play
dozens of yards away.
on the female side with a
Oh,
penis.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get
okay,
to that.
okay.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get to that too.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
No, you spoiled. No one knows about the female boxer getting taken out by the trans boxer. No one knows.
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
No, I was trying to tell the
gonna be
world.
breaking story on
Yeah.
our show.
Real news.
So the
Like-
shooting event, I'm trying to see what exactly event he was in, but there is an air pistol event, but there's also a regular pistol event. So I'm looking here to see.
I want to see Flintlock. I want to see the best person with a pirate pistol like in the world. Like that would be interesting to me. Like musket and Flintlock.
Delta, I think there's a whole mythology around this guy at this point. There's an entire like massive story with his picture on it that definitely is not real, but has the appearance of being real. So just if you're going to read about this guy, just watch out.
Yeah, he did have earplugs, but he just had like those 12-cent earplugs from Walmart, not like
Yeah, but that's all you need. Like if
the
you
big
put 'em in
fancy
right,
noise
that's all you need.
canceling autistic earphones.
Yeah,
That's fine.
That's all you need.
I just have the little ones that clip and then you just drop them on your neck. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, the guns look like 22s to me. Like they're not going to be that loud. Like if you're just firing a couple times,
you don't need it for, I don't know how many times they shoot.
if you're going to practice every day, all day, then yeah, wear some daggum.
Right. Yeah. And indoors, like versus like, I guess, I don't know if that's in or out, but it's like such a big space that it's
Yeah.
not the same as an indoor range where it's like echoing around.
Yeah, but man, yeah, the
If
way
you're going to do a
in,
desk pop in your office in a small office, yeah,
exactly.
then you want it.
The way that he did the competition should be the way that they're all required to do the competition. Your hand doesn't have to be in your pocket, but just
bonus points though. Bonus
pistol,
points.
regular glasses, shooting at a target. Like,
yeah.
What is up with all these gadgets? You're just proving you're the best, like, cyborg. Like, you're not a good shooter. You, with all of your attachments, are good.
Michael Phelps isn't allowed to wear fucking flippers and shit. Like, I don't know.
There we go. Yeah.
Like, just the little goggles. That's it. Like, just the little ear, but that's it. Like,
yeah, you can wear any ear protection you want. Doesn't matter. That is no bearing on anything.
Protection is different than like magnifying. That is weird.
Magnifying and like aiding, just shut your daggum eye. Like, if you need if you need to block part of your eye, just shut it. You don't need the
Condoms are
somebody
different
said
than
I've never seen such a
Swedish-made penis pumps. Is that the joke that Zane's trying to make?
You got my joke.
Got it. Yeah. Like, what is going on with this one? Is she a jeweler? What's happening?
It's a sci-fi.
She looks like what's that Suicide Squad guy? Deadshot.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's so who here has been watching the Olympics?
So
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, this is me getting it. Yeah, I've seen clips of it, I guess, but
I'm not. I've watched like 2 seconds.
I got it on right now.
I saw the Gojira intro.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
And I saw it after the fact. But.
Yeah, I saw it after the fact.
I didn't catch most. I missed most of the opening, although I did catch a little bit of the opening ceremony on TV. I was out doing petition stuff.
I saw Snoop Dogg fencing today.
What?
Building fences or sword fighting?
Like sword fighting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fencing drugs?
Like full guard.
There's
and
so
he's sitting
many
there, and then there's some like Olympic fencing guy that's like actually coming at him, and he's going, "Oh shit! Hold up! Time out, cuz wait."
Okay. Real talk. Why is America not the leader in shooting in every shooting event?
That is such a good question.
Well, it's the Olympics, so it's not shooting; it's fake and gay shooting.
Yes,
that's right. Well,
yes, but like
we're having these professionals. Obviously, we need the high school incels to be on the team because their accuracy is unparalleled worldwide.
to graze an ear at 150 yards. Yeah.
Like what? Why aren't we just sending our best snipers, or just
they're not sending their best,
or just some redneck? Like just some redneck guy who only knows guns would be better than
send Carl.
I would think so. Like, I mean, the amount of good shooters we have in this country, like, I don't know, do people just not do these?
Well, because our good shooters actually shoot people, not targets for sport.
And they also don't wear sci-fi equipment while they're doing it.
Right.
So that would do it.
That's
too.
fine. We could show up in jeans and a t-shirt and outshoot them, or we should.
Yeah, as that Turkish guy did. Yeah, I mean that guy's a legend. Love that dude. So let's move on to the idiotic part of the Olympics. One of the idiotic parts of the Olympics. Actually, most of the Olympics have become idiotic. So, all right. If anybody didn't know, the gold medal boxing match, trans woman hit.
This wasn't a gold medal match.
What?
I think this was a qualifying match. This was in a tournament. It wasn't gold medal, I don't think.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it was an opening round.
Huh. Wow, I must have read that wrong. All right. Well, either way, this lady got hit in the face twice by this person and gave up, stopped fighting, and quit immediately, started weeping because she trained, her entire life for this moment, only to be punched in the face twice. Said it was the hardest she's ever been hit and the most pain she's ever felt. And then quit.
Oof, yeah. Can you imagine if you look and you see your name and you're like, oh, God damn it, like who you're up against? Like,
yeah. Well, what I didn't realize, if Nick is correct, if it wasn't a later,
it was the second round.
Second round. Okay, so there's supposed to be more rounds with, I forget both their names.
It's Iman Khalif
was
and is the dude chick, and Angela Carini of Italy was the
well, she got her chance at a gold medal like robbed from her.
And probably some brain cells.
And definitely some brain cells. Look,
so this
there's
is
a lot. It's a hot,
Not a chromosome.
What?
But not a chromosome.
But not
that's preserved.
Yeah, so my understanding on this is, and it's hard to get a straight answer because apparently no one knows what a woman is anymore. So,
fair.
Well, we're not scientists.
But my understanding, my understanding.
Don't do your own research
of this deal is, this person was it's not necessarily a trans thing. It's some kind of, I guess, intersex thing where the testes never descended. So like, I guess she's
Klinefelter type?
Something that where she's a he, like chromosomally. And so
not XXY, but just
XY, just a weird genetic thing.
So genotypically male, but phenotypically less male.
Yes. So so that still results, I guess, in a lot in male level testosterone and a lot of and thus a lot of male features, even though I guess externally isn't necessarily male. So it's a very weird situation from my understanding of what's going on. And then I think it was Jeremy Kaufman or LPNH. I believe it was Jeremy Kaufman who wrote it. It's both are Jeremy Kaufman. It just depends on what it was, right? And he made a point that I think maybe it was 2016 or something, where in the 800 meter.
What? I can't tell if Zach is trying to compliment me or really diss me or what's going on here.
He's putting it down, bro.
More's better, right? What's going on?
But I think in the 800 meter race, all three medalists or something had this same condition, and those ones in track, I guess, are banned from competing as women. But because it was so, I don't know whether it's just based off of these features, based off of external features or however you want to call it or define it or whatever, whether that just, they're still at such a high level of performance on that, I mean, they're still training and everything else, but the biological factors are still enough to put, to ensure domination. But it's
so it's it wasn't even like a Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, this was like a, there you go. Yeah. Pseudo hermaphrodite, kind of thing. But Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't know if the hearsay is true on that, but
Oh, I never heard.
I don't know anything about this.
That's interesting.
I heard she was
so there are these kind of rare, like legitimate, I guess you could say, edge cases that affect like 0.0001% of the population, and then all the gender studies professors use those edge cases to try to call into question the entire concept of gender, which is a really silly thing to do. But I think Nick's right. That's what I saw in the 2 minutes of looking at this on Twitter, that it does appear to be more complicated than, it's a trans person.
Yeah, because I was looking at
failed the gender test last year.
Yeah, and I could pass the gender test
because last year they were like, "No, you're definitely a dude."
Yeah, so that's the weird part, is because I'm like, how hard is this to determine? And when I was looking at articles, especially earlier this week, seeing the little bit of upset over this to start with, I was like, what's going on? Why is no article saying the word trans? Right? You'd expect that, but knowing I think that Leah Thomas wasn't allowed to compete as a woman in swimming. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know there. And then I'm looking and I'm like, how do you fail a gender test? How is it? So this, I believe, is legitimately an edge case, but
Yeah, then
You know,
what to do about this? You know,
all those chemicals in the water.
I think the only thing you can say is, you know, chromosomes say XY, you're a guy.
I mean, that's generally what I lean on.
Right. So I don't know what else you could do with it besides that. Otherwise, you're going to have, you know, these extremely masculine women that can beat the shit out of other women without, you know, like these are Olympic boxers.
Hey,
Like these
sounds
are
like the Isle of Lesbos all over again.
like this, you know, this Italian lady. It's not like she was, you know, she was a competitive, you know, she's an Olympic level boxer.
Yeah.
She didn't get there by, you know, by slipping in. Like she earned a spot there,
Or
and to
by
get
like
to get hit.
Oh, go ahead.
And to get hit twice,
Yeah.
and say you've never been hit that hard before, and break your nose, whatever else.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure things, but for her to be able to say, no, I've never been hit like that before, when you're, you know, doing this basically professionally,
When you're like
that's
worried
a,
for like your safety
She quit
more than normal.
after
Yeah.
46 seconds. She quit.
Yeah.
Like that. That's saying something. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a good thing that she did, honestly, if she really thought that she was in that much danger there.
No, I think it's a great thing. You're looking out for your future. Like, this isn't life. Like, I know it's probably been her life most of the time up until this point, but like, you know, winning a gold in the Olympics is not life. Your life goes on for many decades after that. So don't risk all that good health just because of a gold medal.
especially in boxing, where like, you know, you've already got enough issues with boxing.
It's hard enough anyway. That's a good point. Like, it's not like it's, and that's what I was going to say is it's like, if you get to the top of the top of the top in boxing, that's not a bitch ass sport. I mean, like, you're getting hit professionally all the damn time. And if you are pulling out like this, I feel like that says quite a bit about the circumstances.
That's my
Definitely
thought. I
says
mean,
something
she's
about equal rights and lefts.
Like she, I believe she competed in the London Olympics and maybe another one. So like, yeah, she's been around. This is not like a first time on the international circuit thing.
Yeah.
So it does say something, especially like, you know, you go there and you get, you know, you're intending to try to actually win. And
hey, let's see Jake Paul fight it. That'll be the test.
Mike Tyson already offered and to send all proceeds for the match to a battered woman's shelter.
God,
and her funeral.
that's hilarious.
God.
So yeah, we'll see if that pans out. I doubt it will. I don't think we'll be seeing that matchup anytime soon. Let's see. Grumpy says she's obviously not married or makes great Sammys. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really kept up with the Olympics. All I see is these highlights of weird things that keep happening there. So anybody got any other Olympic?
I know that I don't know if I sent you guys this in the chat earlier in the week, but the logo has a resemblance to Mary J. Blige. Yeah, there was like the logo with the flame, and it was like circular, and then someone put a picture of Mary J. Blige right behind it, and it was like the same proportions.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Stories.
Hold on, let me.
I saw the ceremony at the beginning, and they had. So they're saying because it's in France, it's in Paris or whatever. That's actually hilarious.
Dude, what? I mean, it's definitely a woman.
Illuminati confirmed, right?
Dude, why did they choose that? That's so weird.
I don't think that they intentionally modeled it after her.
No,
why not?
Maybe not her
just
specifically.
Woman in general. Like,
Yeah.
Why is it that end of like?
I think it's pretty clearly
another reasoning.
A feminine face like suggestion there, but they also had the Olympics have been doing this quite a bit. Not that long ago, they had one that had a lot of like weird like COVID like germ shaped weird stuff in the like China dance thing or whatever. There's like bizarre symbolism and stuff, and and then this one, not great, potentially if you buy into this, but they're saying it's what's her name, Joan of Arc on the horse or whatever, which it, like on the surface, sure is right. That's how you would hide
the water.
Yeah, the
Oh no,
it's super fucking like, to me, like behold a pale horse type biblical, like apocalyptic behind the, like, is it Joan of Arc? Like, yeah, like of course, like you've got to have something to hide it behind, like the dual meaning kind of a thing, like.
Well,
but I don't know, man.
The pale horse was pestilence, right?
I thought there's a white horse and a pale horse or some shit. I don't know. I'm not like super.
I can't remember which one was which, but
yeah, there's 4.
Pale horse is death. Sorry, pale horse.
I thought pale
horse
horse was death, but yeah.
I mean, because like all the river activities got shut down because the insane level of fecal matter, right?
What are you talking about? Did you actually see the swimmers puking after each match?
Right.
Anyway,
yeah, that whole thing is interesting.
Well, we want to, you know what? I think one of the worst parts on this whole I mean, besides the stuff everyone's complaining about, is the fact that the cauldron's not even is not even fire. They went woke on the cauldron.
Is it not
on the literal fire of the Olympics?
It's light with water sprays in order to make it look like flames.
Oh, that's supposed to be the actual flame?
The one that's floating up there, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
So what was supposed to be a flame, like they carried the torch across however many people handling it.
And then they over 9,000 torchbearers.
It is over 9,000.
It's over 9,000.
Just to light.
That was
just
such a
pretend
great
to light. Just to pretend to light.
To douse it.
Sprays water. Yeah, that sprays water.
Is the whole point of it? Was it like a carbon emissions thing?
Yes,
or like why
it
are
was
they,
it was a completely awoke decision to not have an actual cauldron. Just like it seems like everything was done just like woke ESG. So, they were like, I guess, from the Olympic Village, they had to fly in, they had to truck in a ton of meat and like a whole bunch of other food, because initially they were just like doing it vegetarian style with like a whole lot of plant-based, like fake stuff,
For who's eating this?
In the Olympic Village. So what they were serving to the athletes, they cut down. They had to truck in like.
You're depriving the athletes of meat?
They had to truck in pallets of eggs and like an actual ton of meat, because they just were like, they were holding that up. They got the cardboard beds.
That's insane.
I heard that all the air conditioning, they didn't have any actual air conditioners. They just had like pipes of cold water under the floor. And they were saying, oh yeah, we're going to be keeping the Olympic Village at like 76 degrees. And everybody was like, no, you're not. So the US team and a bunch of other teams like flew in all their own air conditioning units so that they could have actual air conditioning.
Nice.
And that's not even the worst. Like there are teams, or at least certain sports, that just said fuck it and went and got a hotel and got out of the village.
Wow.
Interesting.
We're not sleeping on cardboard beds.
What's the benefit of the cardboard?
It's
because they can just recycle it.
What?
Instead of something maybe like, I don't know, having a stash of this stuff that like after one Olympics, you maybe pack it up into containers and move it to the next destination. They're just like
a metal bed. Like a metal bed could be moved.
Yeah, something that could be made and used again and again, because it's metal and it's going to last. And so you just move it from one place to the next instead of like producing cardboard and then having to recycle it.
That's insane.
Oh,
I didn't know this side of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you pay a little bit of attention to it, there's a whole bunch of like insanity out of the woke ESG side of the stuff with this. But I mean, this is France we're talking about, so I don't know what other country do they expect this kind of insanity from, but
that's probably why they picked them.
They're all getting chiropractic care, because I remember like what was it, the Sochi Olympics over in Russia, when everybody was getting cupping done before the events, and that was like a big story of, is it beneficial? What does it actually do? All that kind of stuff. So now they're all getting chiropractic care. So now there's actually a discussion of is there any merit to
I saw a bunch of circle bruises all over the swimmers. Like it must have been the cupping. Yeah.
Which is phenomenal.
They held a little too long in one spot there. Like,
great.
I've had a terrible sinus infection before, and gone in and had some cupping done, and it was gone.
Wow, that's cool.
Like 4 hours later, gone.
Someone just holds your balls and the infection's gone.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
that's crazy. I got to do this more.
Yeah. Some call it marriage, you know. But,
yeah. Well, not officially married, so that's my problem, I guess.
Other cultures call it cupping.
Yeah, right. Yeah, interchangeable terms, basically. We should have cupping trivia.
All right.
I don't have any knowledge of that, so it would be hard for me to produce it.
All right, I'll do conspiracy and cupping trivia. I'll host it 1 week.
Okay. Final topic of the night. Don't go watch the Olympics. It seems like a travesty against humanity.
Except for the Turkish shooter guy.
Except for the Turkish. Just follow that guy.
And Simone Biles.
What?
Is that his name? I didn't even know his name.
Simone Biles doing us proud.
Oh, Simone. Oh, I know Simone. That's actually
like there's a move that like on the uneven bars that got her a gold medal. They have apparently named it after her because no one else can do it.
She's actually a name I know in gymnastics, and that's saying something. So,
yeah.
Co-cupping.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, tandem cupping.
I'm sure Simone Biles was amazing. She is very impressive.
And now she's like this beacon for mental health as well because she bowed out last time around.
That's when I lost respect for her.
Yeah.
She bowed out for what?
She quit the Olympics last time.
Yeah, in the last Olympics, she was like, "Oh, my mental health, and I can't do the things." And
because it was also a trend. You know, she was like the fifth in line because there was what was it? There were some pop stars that canceled their concert tours because my mental health. Yeah. Oh, I'm not up to par with my mental health. It's like you're making $20 million a year. Shut up and get on stage.
Yeah, do your thing, and do the thing you've been training to do since you were born.
Yeah,
it's not
like your mental health. What, did your mom die? Like, did you?
I have respect for her as like a human. It's more as an athlete, because I think taking the pressure is literally part of being a professional.
I think you're being a little bit haughty saying you lost respect for somebody that has that many gold medals. I mean, seriously.
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's like when we found out Michael Phelps was a stoner. Like, I gained respect for him at that point. Like,
that's a massive level of respect after that.
Yeah.
Anyone that thinks that that's a performing enhancing drug has only done cocaine.
Well, especially like for swimming, like something involving lung capacity. Like you're going to destroy because they found like what was it? There was a massive bong they found.
A lot of weed.
And
he's doing bong rips, and that's
yes, he's doing bong rips. They found a bong in his duffel bag. Like, yeah, that's mine.
He's just like clearing the. Just a 2-foot bong. And he's like,
you really are a freaking mermaid, aren't you? This is ridiculous.
Insane. Yeah. No, I agree. More respect on that one.
All I'm saying is respect the drip.
What? Cupping and the drip.
These young people, we gotta. I don't. There we go.
That sounds like an STD. I don't know what the drip is.
Drip is a newfangled use.
Newfangled.
Newfangled.
It's not that new.
It's new enough where we're all old and don't like it.
I'm officially old now, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I respect her talent. She's insanely talented, but she quit when her team and country depended on her. So
status
for that.
But now she's coming back in top form, which she said she would. So
but she can't make up for losing all of our gold medals that time. So she was always going to win. She was going to win last time. She was going to win this time. So there's just fewer gold medals to go around. Come on.
Yeah, maybe so.
And not to get, I guess we're already into it, but I don't know all the details. But I think what was going on at the Tokyo Olympics was not just like mental health. It was some sort of condition where she was like physically unable to actually perform the moves that she was supposed to be doing. Which all I can say is that as somebody that plays golf and often is unable to perform the movements that I'm supposed to, I can see how such a thing could in theory be possible.
Well, it's it's not a physical thing so much as like it's some sort of weird mental block that like you can't figure out in your head. You're in your head and can't figure out where you're at in your twists and flies and stuff.
Wait. So
But-
this is just a case of the yips, is what you're telling me. She
Basically,
skips
yeah.
the Olympics because of the yips.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's not
Zane
right.
has performance issues.
Yeah, that's
Zane apparently has
exactly
performance issues.
it.
That's the takeaway
I mean,
here.
one of
yeah.
my best friends had the yips. As a grown man, he could not figure out how to throw a baseball, and he used to be a pitcher.
Oh, that's
It took years of
Wow.
throwing the baseball with him from like multiple friends and family to get him to actually throw a ball straight after like 5 years.
what? Wow.
It was wild.
Did you tell him about doing mushrooms, resetting your brain?
No, I did not do that. So it was way before I ever got involved.
Sorry about the yips, bro. Have you ever tried DMT?
Once you see the origin of the universe of baseball, it just doesn't even matter to you. You know,
Ugh.
you really get out of your own way.
All right. I think we're just going to go to the, unless somebody else has something we want to talk about, we'll just go to the funny stuff.
I want to talk about manhole covers.
We're not talking, there have been too many manhole cover stories put in the chat.
We can't talk about manholes right after talking about cupping.
I can't.
They're person holes now. It's 2024.
Person holes. There we go.
Who's drunkard of the week?
We didn't have a drunkard of the week.
When I see
no
hell?
one submitted a good.
When I see a woman go,
You're
into
the
a
king of
manhole, I'll
drunkard
call
of the
it a
week.
person
You're
hole.
the only one whose opinion matters on it.
I'm the only one who's exactly. My opinion.
Why did you
is
come up with
they
something
all
that
suck.
worked?
I didn't have enough time to go find a drunkard of the week. Y'all need to submit more options for drunkard of the week so that I have more things to choose from. I had barely anything to choose from.
I've thrown some bangers in there that have gotten overlooked. So.
Look, Steven, the stories you throw in the chat are fantastic, but they don't involve anything that we could watch and laugh at. Or
Wait, I
be
put
entertained by.
Instagram reels for the funny videos at the end all the time, and you never choose them. So I just figured you weren't looking at my messages.
Look, there's hilarity links, and then there's drunkard nomination. So,
Okay, are we really talking about production chat issues?
It's a team
on
meeting
air?
right now. Yeah,
we
yeah.
always do. There's some point where it's 2 minutes of just production meeting. Okay,
Yeah.
Is that
We're at the bottom of the manhole right now.
bottom of the manhole? Goodness gracious, we have to do something with manhole. For
Oh my
for
god!
merch. So some of our merch has got.
But the image has got to be on the back of the shirt.
Okay, I'm actually picturing something pretty disgusting in my head, and I think it'll work.
Yoga shorts, right? I'm with you.
It definitely involves some spandex.
Yes.
We'll see. But y'all, this show is brought to you by Rabbit Eye Wine. We'll be getting another crate, hopefully.
How is Will gonna like that
Great
segue from?
create. Nice segue from Manhole to Rabbit Eye Wine. Go pick up your wine. Also, go to the Great Create. Get your tickets now for the Great Create happening September 27th and 28th down in Omaha, Georgia. It's going to be fantastic. I think most of us are going to be there.
I got a
Live
confirmation.
episode. It's a live episode.
We'll be doing a live episode. We'll be doing probably a couple live episodes, probably shorter episodes. Yeah, we've got Will Harris speaking, founder of White Oak Pastures here in Georgia. Lots of good speakers coming. Very excited. Zach, why don't you pop on since you are one of the organizers of this event and you give us the lowdown on what's happening with it now. Or just stay in the shadows. Either way.
All right. I had to close my door. So I guess the update is we've added a ton that I have not put on the website yet because I am slacking. But I think we are up to now like 4 musical guests.
Sweet.
So 2 we're bringing and 2 are going to be there with the brewery. But
You know what
they've agreed-
style music?
Well, we have Hickory Roots, which is
Probably
bluegrass.
death metal.
Bluegrass.
And then we have a jazz guy. He's like the leader of the Jazz Society of Columbus, I think.
Nice.
And then there's, I think, 2 sort of just I don't even want to say because I'll get it wrong. But I was going to say probably, like kind of rock or southern rock type things going on.
Love it.
But I need to look into them more. Wish I had it pulled up here, but we've also added more speakers. We're adding another keynote soon.
Nice.
I don't know, like everything on the website's outdated, so I really need to get it updated, and then we can talk about this in more detail. And
sweet.
But it's at least twice what you see here, and it's still like $42 for 2 days.
Yeah.
And
we're showing at least one film as well. We're gonna
Mhm.
we're gonna be showing God Bless Bitcoin. Yes, Zane, you are gonna have to sit through it. But yeah, doing a whole film thing up there too.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Down
and
there.
there'll be, of course, beer on tap all day at the brewery, and then there's going to be food trucks, fireside cooking class where also you get to munch
That's
down
cool.
on it afterwards.
Heck yeah.
Just all sorts of cool stuff. Mike Meharry of the 10th Amendment Center is going to be there. He's one of the unannounced ones I just remembered. So he will be there.
Very cool.
Cool one.
Do I need to bring anything to cook on this fire, or do they provide that?
I'm thinking they provide it. Yeah. So
I don't have to pull a Ron Swanson and slaughter a pig like in the park.
I mean, we'll just add you to the poster, then do it.
Just bring your chickens down, Alden. We can slaughter those.
Oh, I like my chickens.
Yeah, your chickens are fun. Yeah.
And they make me a lot of eggs.
Yeah. So thegreatcreate.org and get your $42 ticket. And then also we're still looking for sponsors. If anybody wants to help sponsor this, because, sort of the idea was to bring together the community and teach things and learn things, but also have them there rubbing shoulders with libertarians. So, we're benefiting from it too. And you can
We're
see,
just all giving
put on
massages.
Yeah. So, it's we're putting this on as part of the Libertarian Party of Georgia. Even though this podcast isn't part of it anymore, this is one of the things we still do with them. And
Hey,
if you
Viking
like that
Metal.
idea,
Shout out
yeah,
to Doug
Viking
Gregg.
Metal, Spanish Big Brother, Edgar, all these people. So,
Yeah.
the point of the sponsorship
Brian
is to
Allen.
make this cheap so that it can be an outreach event and they can come here and they can, hear the libertarian talking points and learn cool stuff and have a fun time. So,
Delta Fish says, what about the 2 meals? Should we buy them?
so I think if you're going to be doing the cooking class or I'll have to double check because I'm not sure which day is which. Actually, I think the fireside is Friday and the barbecue dinner is Saturday. So yeah, I would say buy them both. And then the food truck will be there, but you can choose to do the food truck or you can eat it for lunch or whatever and then still do dinner with everybody. But basically we're all going to be sitting down to a dinner together and then, roasting stuff over the fire the day before. And
heck yeah.
Last thing too, the other cool part about this is if you come, you get the $42 ticket. It's just regular admission. You can also come set up a table, sell your stuff, be a vendor, nothing extra required. Just, buy a ticket and come set up.
Sell your cupping services.
Yeah,
exactly. Steven, is it going to be a private booth, curtains up and everything?
That's right. Yeah. So right next to Alden's cupping booth, I will have the deluxe cupping booth.
The happy ending cupping booth.
Well, I'll do the one thing he doesn't.
Well, that way we have all our bases covered. Literally
Amen.
and
All
figured
of the bases.
There's
all
one
the
thing I won't do. It's the Dirty Sanchez.
Grumpy bought both meal tickets. So if you want to, char meat over a fire with a gnome, this is your chance.
Yeah, and you won't know who the gnome is, but he'll be there.
Can I add? What if I already bought my ticket and I did not buy this because I did not hear this?
You can
pitch?
add them on.
Okay.
Alden.
Yeah,
and
you can add them
gnome
on. You can add it on the website. Also, we'll be doing cash day of, but it's better if you buy it from the website just because it gives us an idea of what to prepare for.
Right.
Yeah.
How many pigs to
Yeah.
slaughter?
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody. We're just going to get to some funny videos now. But yeah, go get your tickets for the Great Create happening down in Omaha, Georgia, end of September. Already got my tickets. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun time. So
The White Oak Pastures, they sell the chicken hearts. That's awesome. I've never seen anyone sell just the hearts.
they sell everything. They sell beef liver. They sell,
I'd have to expect chicken hearts are pretty small.
They are, but they're good. When I buy whole chickens, like I save them in the freezer until I get enough of them and marinate them, and they're delicious. I love hearts, but
poppers kind of thing.
Poppers, yeah,
yeah.
Stuff them with like jalapeno and cream cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's probably good. I've never done that, but it's probably good.
Before we get into that, did y'all hear that the Ohio Supreme Court ruled this week that boneless chicken wings are allowed to have bones in them?
Yeah, I saw that.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Somebody explain how
this feels like a choking
in
hazard.
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Tell me Ohio is a legitimate state after that.
Yeah.
It wasn't to begin with.
Amen.
So is it one of those things where it's like it's allowed to have like 0.00005% bone?
Or is this
it
mechanically separated bone?
Probably, but we don't like to do
I
all
didn't
of
read all the details. The headline got me. Okay.
Yeah, the headline
Ohio
was
Supreme
enough.
Court says boneless chicken wings can have bone.
Zane, if a boneless chicken wing has any amount of bone, you're boned. It's a misnomer. You're
Which, and we do know from a also recent federal court case, boneless wings are just nuggets.
They are.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've always thought that the difference between a chicken nugget and a boneless chicken wing was that like a chicken nugget is like a kind of like a cylinder where it's a 2D shape and then you just extend it up into 3 dimensions. Whereas a boneless chicken wing is more like a sphere.
Piece of meat.
Where it has a unique cross section in all 3 dimensions.
I'll tell you
That's
what
there's a friend of mine that tried to explain to me years ago that there was a difference in a trailer, ER, and a trailer, OR, and that you lived in a trailer, but a trailer is what you drag behind your truck.
So in motion at the trailer.
It is in fact
when
one
it's
single
parked
word
at the
in the English
trailer.
language, and it's for both.
A trailer or a trailer. Alden, where'd you go, buddy?
I don't know. I was just about to say some like a hot button topic here of when we say chicken tenders, they need to be the cut that is specifically the tender that separates from the breast, and a chicken strip is a chicken breast cut to look like a tenders, which is not a real
We just got
tender.
a strike, y'all, for Alden. Hot topics. Like, woo!
Yeah. There we go.
That's our 3rd strike. We're out. I'm sorry. It wasn't the 9/11 talk earlier. It was the chicken tender talk.
Well, hey, in Ethiopia, chicken is legal tender.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I mean, shouldn't everything be legal tender? Wouldn't that be so much
Strategic
fun?
chicken strip reserve incoming.
You could just go into
better
the
than-
IRS and give them a bunch of chickens for your.
It's better than
taxes.
brownies.
Yeah, but I mean, how would
Just
you
go
get
there
that
with
many chickens? They
scrap
wouldn't be
copper.
worth that much.
It depends on the time. It depends on the date. Sometimes chickens are super expensive to buy.
Yeah, give a few
We
more
have
bird
to end
flu
the
scares.
episode.
We're gonna go to funny things now.
Yeah, funny things.
I can't deal with this anymore. So I've been watching on repeat a Shane Gillis clip from Beautiful Dogs, and somebody cut together the actual speech that Trump did. So here we go.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
The United States launched a targeted operation against that compound.
They did a lot of shooting and they did a lot of blasting, even not going through the front door. You think you go through the door. If you're a normal person, you say, knock, knock, may I come in?
After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
He died like a dog.
But his death does not mark the end of our effort.
A beautiful dog. Talented dog.
We give thanks for the men who carried out this operation.
And I don't get any credit for this, but that's okay. I never do. But here we are.
May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
And I'm writing a book. I wrote 12 books. All did very well.
The best.
The United States.
Oh my God. That's so good.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you haven't seen Ken Gillis' bit on that Trump speech, it's one of the best bits out there.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's good.
It's so good. All right, this was shared by Mr. Stephen Hilton in the chat this week. very impressive dog.
Wow. Beautiful dog.
That's their dog.
Wow.
And there's our dog.
Equally as talented, for sure.
Nice.
Oh, that's so good. All right, I got 3 more lined up. So here's this one. I could not stop laughing at this the other night. So here you go.
Eating the butter though, okay? Okay. Good job, Kate. Kate, we have butter. A cup of sugar, okay? Put it over. Right. What's next? After the sugar.
The butter.
It has to be packed in there. So put it in. Don't eat the brown sugar. Oh,
that was my
crack and put it in. Oh,
Not the
yeah.
egg.
We
No.
don't eat. What? No, we're not eating that. Read. Turn it off for now and then turn it back on when we get back out of the oven. I never do that.
Kids just sampling everything. Awesome.
What if he
No,
just
we-
didn't like the cookie?
Ate every bit of that. Oh,
Well,
my
that kid
God.
does know 100 different ways to cook an egg.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That one knows at least 4.
Oh my gosh.
I had a
was
friend
so
that, as a kid, he used to steal the butter off the table or like out of the fridge or whatever, and hide under the kitchen table and just eat a stick of butter.
Yeah.
We've
Oh, my
found
sister-
nothing
my-
for you.
My sister would grab a stick of butter and just rub it all over her face and then break out really bad.
This was a more than one time event.
Yes.
I'm guessing your sister wouldn't want you telling everyone that.
I am so happy you did, though.
She's never gonna watch this.
That's fair.
I will find her and I will send her this video.
I gotta clip that moment. That's so funny. All right, 2 more. This is genius.
A Brazilian prison uses geese as their guards, and it's shockingly effective because geese are full of hate. 15 years ago, the prison replaced their guard dogs with geese, and they haven't had a jailbreak since. Prison officials said guard dogs are a lot of work. They need to be trained, can be bribed, need a lot of attention, and are expensive. Geese, on the other hand, are naturally a-holes, very territorial and constantly alert. The geese are stationed around the outer perimeter of the prison, and if anyone gets in their territory, the geese go crazy, making a huge commotion and alert correction officers. Geese are so effective, China has even used an army of 500 geese to patrol 300 miles of their border to help stop illegal immigration. A Brazilian
Dude.
Wow.
What the heck? I mean, geese are mean.
That's
but
smart.
That's crazy. I mean, it is cost effective. You don't really got to feed them very much. Like, yeah.
But then who's going to shovel all the poo cigars?
No one. You're going to leave it there as mines for the prisoners after they make a jailbreak.
There you go.
Pretty soon you got a moat, you know?
Yeah, this is a perfect facility setup. This is amazing. All right, final one for tonight.
I used to believe everything I'd see on
Oh, I love this.
before I discovered a brain.
A brain is meant for everyday use. Those living with moderate to severe stupidity have seen immediate improvement in common sense with a brain.
I thought the government had my best interests at heart. And then a friend told me about a brain.
Talk to your doctor about what news sources you obey. A brain may also lower your desire to take life-altering advice from celebrities.
From people with 3 private jets used to make sense. When my disregard for 3rd grade biology began to flare up, I knew it was time for a brain.
Do not try a brain if you're allergic to a brain. Common side effects may include accountability, discernment, homeschooling your kids, a better understanding of economics, awareness of the stupidity of socialism, and diarrhea.
For tethering yourself to reality, the only no-brainer is choosing a brain. Ask your doctor if the brain is right for you. I used to believe...
That's great.
Oh, that was
I
like a
wouldn't ask
short.
your doctor about that, actually.
That was a shortened version, but in the long version, there's like a ping sound, like with the aluminum bat, and they have the logo in the sky, and like they really went for like the drug commercial thing full force, and they nailed it.
Yeah, they did a great job with this whole thing. It's amazing. Yeah, that's it for this week's episode. We're episode 86. Only 14 more till we're at 100.
What are we gonna do for 100?
Probably not. We'll probably cancel the show that night.
Probably like a live orgy episode, just full of cupping.
Just cupping.
There you
Nothing but Stephen cupping.
The
We'll
centennial
have a-
cupping episode.
We'll have a feast for Dionysus.
I don't know what we're
Wine.
gonna do for that, but we are having an election night special. It's gonna be a super long one. So that'll
What
be
episode
fun
will
for
that be? What
everybody.
number?
It'll be close to 100. It'll be great.
Yeah.
When I counted it out, I think our election episode is like 99.
Ooh, that's spooning.
So we might have to have a
There'd be
special
two
episode
that
on
week. There'd be 2 that week because election night is on a Tuesday, and then we have the show on Thursday. So it might
So
be.
that would- No, that would mean that the episode after would be 100.
Yeah.
So the Thursday
Yeah.
would. So you'd have to squeeze in a special episode somewhere.
Well, it's
in order
good
to
because
bump
I
that.
invited all y'all to come to the house to film the election night special. So hopefully that happens and we can get that in the books.
We'll have to participate remotely on election night.
That's fine. You can be our in the field reporter in Pennsylvania. That'll be
I'm
perfect.
because I'm trying to see if we can get an election night thing going up here since all of our statewide candidates right now are from Western PA.
Heck yeah.
So it would only
And
make
your
sense
governor's
if
going
we
to be the VP, right?
the what?
I said your governor's going to be the VP.
Yeah, let's not
We're
get
not
into
going to get
that.
into that right now. We're not going to
Nick,
get into
maybe
that.
you
He's
can
from the other
do-
side of the state, so he sucks. But
You can do
So, yeah,
interviews at the drop boxes.
well,
There
at
we
least
go.
I'll set it up, and I'll get I can at least set up the computer and things, and have a
Yeah.
have a station I can bring in people and whatever.
That'd be
else.
fun. That'd be fun. So yeah, make sure y'all tune in to Liberty Libations on election night come November. We're gonna be covering it from probably about 5 or 6 till late that night. Should be a good time.
A lot of beers.
Yeah, get your tickets to the Great Create. What else we got? Anything else that we need to talk about before we get out of here?
Rabbit Eye Wine.
Rabbit Eye Wine. Go get yourself some Rabbit Eye Wine. Go over to peacefulseed.network to tune into this show or any of the others that Peaceful Seed Productions makes, including the one that's going to come out in a month or two, which is untitled at the moment. We don't have a title for it, but it's about a cop killing a civilian in Cascade County, Montana. It's going to be a true crime podcast trying to actually get the cop at least on trial, if not convicted.
Held accountable on the barest level, at least.
Held accountable in some way, shape, or form to give a little justice to this guy's family who, is now living without him. So,
yeah.
Go over to peacefulseed.network to tune in for that happy story.
For more uplifting news.
Yeah, Wrexham Texan comes back this week, Sunday at noon. Free Georgia podcast Monday at 8 p.m. and come back each week for more Liberty Libations at 8 p.m. every Thursday. We'll see y'all next week. Drink and be free.